I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
Well, here we are again for another stab at, is it true or is it total bobbins?
Yes. And it's my turn to guess the truths, truths and the bobbins. Yes,
I'm setting the statements this week. So
let's
see.
And we arrive here all tied.
We're 1-1 so far, aren't we? So everything to play for on this one. Yes.
Okay. So as ever, any tip tapping you may hear is me just writing down the statements.
Writing down the statements, not Googling stuff.
No, yes. This is
strictly prohibited.
Yes, it is. And to be honest, I think the people know.
I think they can probably tell. Well, we both have mechanical keyboards, which does somewhat give us away.
It does, and so does our incompetence, so that's good.
Yes. Yeah, if we started to sound a bit too clever, people would know something's up. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're fairly safe. Go on then. Hit me with statement 1.
Number 1. In 1958, Volvo became the first car manufacturer to include seatbelts as standard. Got all that?
As standard. Oh my God! It's why.
Have you forgotten how to spell standard?
I've forgotten how to spell entirely.
You probably don't need the as standard on the end. You could, you could remember that bit.
Okay, so just to analyze that one, can I analyze it?
You can analyze. You can have a midstream analyze if you like. Yes.
So. See, everyone in their head is going, of course, what's Volvo? And even a bit of my head is doing that. However, there's also that bit, there's the devil on my shoulder going, you didn't say which sort of seatbelt.
True. That's a very good point. Are you considering this might be the Mercedes S-Class effect, in that it's so obviously true that it can't be? Is that what you're considering? Or is that what I want you to think?
Yeah,
and it's so obviously true because it is. Maybe that's what I'm trying.
I'm going to come back to it because I've got some additional thoughts. Let's not get bogged down in statement 1.
Don't get bogged down because you've got 2 more yet, and one of them might be very obviously false, or you might know it. So,
we've not had that yet, have we? We've not had a definite I know that.
No, which I'm kind of surprised about because we both know quite a lot of nonsense. So I'm kind of surprised that we haven't. But anyway, park the Volvo where it is. We'll move on and you can analyse all 3 together. So number 2, the Vauxhall Corsa D.
Oh God, I've written Volvo.
No, this one's not about Volvo.
Oh God. Well, Vauxhall Corsa D.
D specifically, although I believe this may apply to other Vauxhalls, but I could only verify it for the Corsa D.
All right. Duly noted.
Has a shark emblem hidden in its glove box hinge.
Okay, now that one, I'm not going to mull over that one. The seatbelt one, we could have had a bit of a debate, and this one is a bit more obscure. So, yeah, all right.
Number 3. The Nissan GTR R35
Hang on, I'm not even prepared.
Okay, so a lot of detail in that first bit.
Start again. I tell you what, this really shows how tired I am today.
It does, doesn't it? Nissan GTR R35.
Yes.
Was developed with extensive testing and refinement by Lotus. So that's your 3. Volvo first to do seatbelts. Corsa D's got a shark emblem hidden in it. And the GTR R35 had some Lotus help.
Lotus help with... did you specify? Is it because was it handling?
It was testing and refinement. I believe specifically chassis refinement.
Oh, I see. You've really honed in there. That's a Lotus specialty. But would Nissan have allowed them near it?
Would Nissan have gone to Lotus? Yes.
Shit. Right. What a quandary.
3. Well, 1 and 2 are quite plausible. I'm not sure. 1 and 3 are quite plausible. I'm not sure about number 2. I'm concerned I've over-egged it on number 2.
Right. So, regarding number 2. That is true. I don't need you to confirm that or deny that. But I'm almost 100% certain that's true.
Okay, I won't confirm or deny until you've stated all 3.
And just to clarify, that's the shark emblem hidden on its glove box hinge.
Correct.
Now, my reasoning behind that is, I think you're probably, I don't know the first model, but you said Corsa D, and that's the bit that I'm a bit iffy on. I'm just going to go, yeah, you're probably right. But I think subsequent Vauxhalls had them stashed here, there, and everywhere. I'm not sure it was specifically glove box hinge, but it may well have been. But I'm almost certain that's the thing, and I'm going to say it's true. The only thing that might trip me up is the first car it appeared on, but I'm going to say sod it. Stick with it. True.
Okay.
Now, this one that you said to me. So, in 1958, Volvo became the first manufacturer to include seatbelts as standard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I like this. I like this a lot because I think I'm either really smug or I'm overthinking it. One of the two. Now, come on. I think that actually, God, I'm not going to lock it in, but I'm going to say I'm saying my thoughts.
You're on a knife edge with that one, aren't you?
I think this one could be this could fall into the bobbins category because we all know that Volvo love a bit of safety, and they're pioneers in the world of safety.
Mm-hmm.
But I genuinely think there was another manufacturer who fitted, and I can't remember what bloody manufacturer it is, but they fitted seatbelts as standard before Volvo, and Volvo's claim to fame was fitting 3-point seatbelts as standard. Which I which means that if I lock that in, what that means is the Lotus did help Nissan develop the GTR, or refine the chassis on the GTR.
It's tricky, that, isn't it?
Now, Lotus have always had some sort of tie to Asia in its later life, not necessarily Japan, but
Well, they're owned by Proton, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they still are, but yeah.
No, it's a good question, actually. I don't know if they still are, but they certainly were for a long time.
Right. No, I'm gonna. Shit will get off the pot, innit? Right.
It is really, yes.
Yeah. So the GTR is true. That was did have its chassis developed or refined by Lotus, and its number one is a lie because it was another manufacturer, but Volvo became the first manufacturer to include 3-point seatbelts as standard.
So that's your three answers: true, false, false. No, false, true, true. Sorry.
So, there we go. There you go. You got it. You got it.
I got it the right way around. I'm in not much better state than you are. Okay. You are correct.
Oh gosh. Smugness is out in force.
Oh, very well done. I thought the Volvo one would trip you up because we all know Volvo are known for their safety, and of course they'd be the first manufacturer to fit seatbelts. Of course. You wouldn't even think about it. If somebody just said that to you, you wouldn't even question it.
No, it's only because I'm a very sad little man.
Yes.
And I apologise.
You are specifying a distinction between the type of seatbelt, which I very specifically didn't do in the question. Or in the statement, I should say.
Yes.
Yes. 3-point inertial reel seatbelts, they were the first, but seatbelts in general, it was not Volvo. Now, you can't remember who it was.
No, I can't. No.
You're going to kick yourself when I tell you.
Go on.
It was Saab.
Oh.
It was Saab in the GT750 sports car.
So that's. I would tell you what, that as tricky little questions go, God, that's so close.
I was very pleased with that. Yes. I really thought that might trip you up.
Oh, Sweden's the place, yes.
I want to be safe. Yeah, they don't sound like that at all. That was German again.
Oh God, yeah, we're back to the bloody Mercedes one.
Yes. Well, it is the Mercedes S-Class effect. Whenever you say whatever it was first appeared in the Mercedes S-Class, you're inclined to say, well, yes, of course, everything clever is seen first in the S-Class. And the same with anything safety related. The default is, yes, of course, Volvo did it first. That was their whole thing.
Yeah.
But to turn our attention to the other two briefly, yes,
please.
The Corsa D does indeed have a shark emblem hidden in the design of its glove box hinge, and I believe the same part was used in other Vauxhalls, but it was certainly in the Corsa D. Apparently, the designer in question was given the glove box hinge and he thought, oh, what a boring little. And apparently his little boy was really into sharks at the time, so he put a shark emblem in it, expecting it to be removed at some, more senior design review. And to his astonishment, nobody spotted it, and it made it all the way to manufacturing. And there it is.
I love that. Absolutely love that. I mean, because otherwise,
and by the time somebody noticed, they'd already ordered like 10 million of the things. So.
It's that thing, late. Isn't it? It's such a tedious run-of-the-mill car, and there you go. Someone, at least somewhere along the design process, is having a laugh.
He did something fun with it, and I believe the part was reused. But as I say, I wasn't able to.
I think so too. I think it did appear on other Vauxhalls.
I think it did.
Nice.
And the Nissan GTR R35 Lotus did indeed have a hand in it. But there are some reports, I had to spend a while on this, there are some reports that said the R35 was developed in conjunction with Lotus. That's going too far. It wasn't. But Nissan did use Lotus's facilities, their wind tunnel and other facilities, and some of their consultants, because, of course, consultancy work is a big part of Lotus's business.
Oh, yeah.
It has been. To help kind of productionize the R35 to just kind of get it where it needed to be. So they did a lot of testing on it, and they made some recommendations, and they helped refine the chassis specifically. But it wasn't developed in conjunction with Lotus, but there were some Lotus consultants and some of Lotus's facilities used to just kind of finish it off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
nice.
But again, I thought, is that preposterous enough? It's why would Nissan, a massive international conglomerate, go to a tiny little company like Lotus to develop a chassis? That just seems ridiculous.
Yeah,
so I thought that might trip you up.
No, I tell you what, probably any other day, it would have. But it's that thing of going, I was almost certain that I knew the shark thing was real, because I'm sure I read that.
Yeah.
And the Volvo thing was bothering me.
Could have been true, though, couldn't it? It could have been true.
It could have. So it's only by deduction that I ended up where I was. So that's unlucky for you, because again, I'm a sad little man I promise I do go outside.
You do occasionally have a friend.
Yeah. So, well, that was excellent. Well done, mate. I really enjoyed those.
They were. Yeah, I was pleased with those three. Yeah, I thought that came out well.
Yeah. Should be. You should be very proud of yourself.
I was hoping I was going to trip you up with Volvo, but there you go.
So pressure's on now, right?
Pressure's on for next week. So you're ahead now. So I've got to really up my game, really up my analysis for next week.
Quite.
Lots of questions about Jaguars and DeLoreans would be appreciated.
I mean, now you say it. I mean, I tell you what, judging by one of our anniversary quizzes or something like that, a quiz about the Willys Jeep should do it.
Yeah, I'm quite geeked up about that. Yeah.
Although, actually, when we did, what's your top 5 favourite cars? You went, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was a dismal failure, that episode, right? But we did have Willys Jeeps in my last set of questions to you. So, you know.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay,
yeah.
Leave it with me. I'll prepare the next 3 of our statements. Right. We need to face facts. You and I are appallingly prepared this week.
It's been bad this week. Yeah, we both had other things happening. Yes.
Yeah, it's been a bit on the frantic side. However, I've got a dopey little would you rather from Chris for both of us. One each.
Oh, excellent. Oh, well, I always enjoy those.
Now, I don't know if this is going to become a thing, but he was kind enough to send them, and I said, you know what? I'll use it. I promise. And here I am using it. So, for you.
You weren't necessarily expecting to use it this quickly. But
oh, no. In fairness, I've sat on it for a few weeks.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Very good.
No, this is a little treat. So, now, to you, would you rather have an S-Type R for life or a different new JLR vehicle on free loan every year?
Well, okay. Ooh. Well, we don't know what they're going to be producing. We haven't seen any of them yet.
Well,
so that's a bit of a gamble. It's not like, before when you knew you were going to have an XJ and an XF and an F-Type and a F. We don't know. We have no idea.
You don't necessarily know, but it did say JLR, so you can branch out from just the J.
Oh, true. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't have to be just the J. I could have LR as well. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Well. Okay. An S-Type R forever.
Yep.
Or a different JLR product that will cost me nothing.
Cost you nothing. Yeah.
Every year for as long as I manage to hang on. Okay.
So maybe you could kick off proceedings with the rather appealing Range Rover Fev.
Well, I could.
I'm just throwing it out there as an option because it's getting a lot of praise.
If I can, it is. Yes, it is. Yes. Ooh. Well. See.
A year of incredibly cheap motoring in that. Lots of local journeys for you. All electric, those, I bet.
Oh, absolutely. It would be running on electric most of the time. Yeah, absolutely. Or an S-Type R to keep forever.
But
see,
with
the thing
it
is,
comes the costs.
The costs of repairing rust and fueling it. See, now S-Type Rs at the moment are quite cheap.
Yep, to buy.
To buy.
just putting that little caveat.
Yes, to buy. Yes, not to necessarily
not to operate on a daily basis. No,
but to acquire. Yes. Oh, if I had the S-Type R, would I have to fund the upkeep? Or is that included for free?
No. I'm afraid you're funding the upkeep on that.
Okay. In that case, given that they are quite cheap to buy, and I got to fund the upkeep either way, I would have the free different JLR products every year, and I'd buy an S-Type R for myself on the side.
Oh, I don't know if that's in the rules. I'm not convinced that's in the rules.
You didn't say it wasn't. You didn't say I could only have one car.
Right, well, when Chris listens to this...
You didn't say that. So I'm assuming I can have another one. Right,
so under that assumption, be prepared for a barrage of Discord messages when this airs.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks' time, we'll get a...
You're going to get a rant, possibly with some rude words in it.
It's a key detail you didn't specify. You didn't say the JLR car had to be my only car.
Oh dear. All right. Well, do you know what? So, if you're locking that in as your answer, when this airs,
it's not my fault if you don't properly specify the question.
You can argue amongst yourselves when this airs.
Just because it's a badly thought out scenario,
Oh God, don't! It's gonna be all this. It's gonna kick off this, isn't it?
It's not my fault if you haven't locked it all in. Just because I thought it through.
Oh, it's always someone in there. And it's like, it's one of those ones. If a genie grants you a wish, I'll have 3 more wishes. Yeah, there's always one. Yeah.
You got to specify. Come on, you got to tie these things down. You haven't got your small print sorted. That's what's happened there. Terms and conditions will apply. This energy drink may cause unfortunate leakage. All that kind of stuff.
We've all been there. Yeah. So. All right, you've locked that in as your answer. You can argue with Chris when this airs. I don't see either of you backing down, so I think what we might do is create your own little Discord channel for that.
Just the two of us, just for that specific subject.
Chris, I'll do it on the Stuff and Waffle Discord, but I'll just create a specific channel for you to
for us to argue about this one issue for the next 10 years.
Yeah, perfect. Now.
If he's offering to fund me a JLR product for the rest of my life.
I don't think he's offering that. I think it was purely a question.
That's how I understood it.
Oh, no. Again, add it to the argument, please. Right. I have a would you rather as well.
Oh, excellent. Go on then.
Now, for me, would I rather have a Renault 4 for a year or a Ferrari F40 for a day?
Is that for me to answer or for you to answer?
That's for me to answer.
Oh, okay.
And you can
I'm happy to offer an opinion.
Yeah, I know what your opinion is. Unfortunately, I'm in a bit of a pickle.
You're not a big Ferrari man, though, are you?
I'm not a big Ferrari man, but I am an F40 man.
Okay.
Like maybe too much.
Okay.
He's a crafty little shit, because you could basically say any other Ferrari and the answer would default to being Renault 4.
Would absolutely be the Renault, yeah.
But what he's done here is he's applied thought, logic, and just a hint of bastard.
I hate people who do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's left me in a bit of a predicament there, because
it's only a day, though. You get over it.
But it is. I mean, let's face it. It's only a day. I'll get over it. No, the
Renault 4 is the car of your dreams. I don't get it at all, but I do know that to be the case.
The Renault 4 is that weird thing. It's my wild card, isn't it?
It is.
It makes no sense.
No. I don't get it, but I would defend your right to have it.
But you could also say, like, the F40 is possibly peak Ferrari. Not only is it the best flagship they've ever made.
That's.
And not to confuse, I know we've had discussions about Ferraris, and you know where we stand in terms of beauty and such like, and I am in awe of the 250 short wheelbase, and I think
we've had some disagreement over aesthetics. Yeah. Yes, on some models, not all.
Yeah, so I think the 250 short wheelbase is quite possibly the prettiest car to exist. Yes, we're going to argue about that. But what I'm doing is I'm using it in its sort of Ferrari area. When I say it's the most visually appealing, that doesn't mean it's my favorite Ferrari. There is something that differentiates it, and it's what it is. The F40. In a time where the world started to go digital, that remained awfully analog. It was a no-nonsense car. It was stripped down, pared back. It had a hint of 80s excess in visuals, perhaps. Certainly the way that the twin-turbo engine was concocted and built, because it had like all of the power at a very specific point, and if you're not careful, dead.
Yeah.
No driver aids, no nothing, manual. It was everything analog. It was the most sort of aggressive driver's car they ever produced, I would say.
But one day, as opposed to the rest of your life with a car that you absolutely adore.
No, that was a caveat. It was a Renault 4 for a year.
Oh, for a year. I'm sorry. Right. Okay. It's still a lot longer than a day. Do I did have the Fezzer for a day and then buy the Renault 4 on the side.
People send me Renault 4 adverts regularly.
Yeah, well, they're not. It's not out of your reach, is it?
No, and it is a problem. I do have a problem.
Yeah, you do.
But it comes back to that thing of going, right, well, a Renault 4 is within reach. A Ferrari F40 will never be in reach.
No.
No, and it's
You're
not
in,
like
you're
those.
In, you're in lottery win territory there, aren't you? Really?
Yeah, and it has to, and let's face it, a significant lottery win as well.
Yes, just quite a few lottery wins that still wouldn't get you there. Yes.
But it's that thing of going, well, it's not even like you could go to one of those supercar experiences or join one of those classic car clubs. An F40 is not accessible through any of those means.
No, indeed.
And
well, to be fair, even if you had the money, finding one would not be easy.
No, they're not in every showroom.
No.
Oh. So going
But
purely,
it's only a day.
but it'd probably be a fucking amazing day.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, let's put it another way again. It would be only a day, but I wouldn't shut up about it for a year.
True, and you would be sat in it from a minute past midnight to a minute to midnight.
Yes, I would. So, going on that basis of the fact that it is so unobtainable, I couldn't do it to myself to not have an F40 for a day.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go. I respect that. I respect that.
And because I'm a sensible man, I'm not going to look for loopholes. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Yeah. I've knocked things over on my desk.
Oh God! I had a crash on his desk. It's not good. So yeah, there we go. That.
Okay. Can I propose something for us to chew on?
Oh, I'd love you to.
This, I think, was in maybe not this week's Smith and Sniff, but perhaps last week's. And they didn't spend a lot of time on it. They just kind of touched on it as a potential future discussion.
Oh God! Now this is where I hope I'm up to date. So go on.
Oh, it doesn't matter if you're not. I'll say what it is. It's a simple concept. You can have any car that was launched in the year of your birth.
Oh no, I have listened to that, and there was a bit in the back of my head, and I'm sitting there listening to it and going, "Didn't we do that?
Did we do that, or did they do that?" I'm not sure.
Do you know what? It's bad, isn't it? That
I can't. Well, we have been doing this for over 4 years now. I can't remember.
Right. I'm going to delve into our world of tech.
Can you? You're never going to learn it just from the episode titles.
No, I'm not. That's why I'm going to delve into our world of tech and just apply a little database query for us.
Oh, you can do a little search term there while we're on it. Okay.
Yeah, I know this is very very organised, isn't it?
Well, I have just thrown it at you. To be fair,
this is testing my syntax at very asleep moments in my brain.
Sadly, I will pick the same car that Richard Porter did because we're born in the same year, so we're exactly the same age. So
oh, I see. Well,
so we'll end up picking the same car.
Now that I do believe. What does that mean? So that is. Hang on. Let me do full texts on that. So no, I've done a few searches there, and
maybe we didn't. Maybe it was just a topic we thought of but never did. There were quite a few of those.
No, I like that. Okay.
You might want to do some research, or you can throw an answer at me now if you've got one.
So, I still think we have done this. There's part of me that still thinks we've done this.
If anyone's listening who's been listening for long enough to remember.
Oh God! I think I know what I want to pick. And I'm curious whether we've done this before, and I picked this last time, or whether it's so there. Oh God, it's between two cars for me.
Okay.
Oh God, I say it's between two cars. I'm just going to check on the dates. Shit.
I can't even remember the year of your birth, to be fair. So
That's all right. The year of my birth was 1984.
that's depressing.
I mean, yes, there is a gap, but it's not as yawning chasm as I'd like it to be.
No, true.
At no point does it make me youthful and full of vitality.
No, it's not that big a gap.
No, it's bloody not. I am old, decrepit, and beginning to resemble a scrotum.
Got a little bit of an Alan Sugar thing going on there.
Yeah.
But without the money.
Oh God, yeah. But at least I didn't invent a phone that had email on it that no one ever bought.
It's true, no one wanted it.
So, right, I was correct. So, two cars that make me go, ooh.
Things that make you go, ooh.
So, launched in 1984 was the Ford RS200.
Oh, that rings a bell.
Yeah, a Group B oddity that never strictly saw the light of day. Well, in the way they intended it to. It's had a life since, but doesn't stop it being tremendous. And I know, back to Ferrari, yeah, actually. One of the ones that I would consider Ferrari Testarossa.
Oh, good choice.
Mm.
Yeah, good choice.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
So,
right choice.
Yeah, bit tricky that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I like that. Yeah, I like that. It's yeah. Well, I'm not in the 80s, so it's a different choice for me.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. What actually, spit yours out, and I'll come back to me, and I'll pick one of those two, and we'll see if it was the same as last time.
Okay,
I swear we've done this.
My year is 1975, so it's a sea of nonsense, unfortunately.
Oh dear.
So it has to be the Jaguar XJS.
Has to be.
It has to be.
Now. That's interesting, and a solid choice. You're going to get no arguments from me on that at all. However, there was a car introduced, I do believe, in that year that is hang on, I'm referring to my notes actually. Yes, I didn't mention it, but nonetheless, I will mention it now.
God, it's not the Morris Marina or something, is it?
No, don't be silly. Another car from a marvellous year that was 1975. It's a car we spoke about only last week, I believe, and that's the Rolls-Royce Camargue. Awful.
I think I'm confident in my choice of the XJS.
I think you're confident too, because I've just looked at it again just to double check my dates and going,
it's bad, isn't it? It's
not
really
any
bad.
better. Awful.
It's really, really bad. It's a real low point. I don't know how it happened. I still think that the switch from Imperial to metric had a hand in that, because everything about it is wrong.
You could be right, and I've just done just a little Google on the date you have spat out at me there of 1975, and I agree in general that it's a sea of toss. There is two standouts, which is Now, this is really difficult, actually, because one of these is a loophole and would suit me down to the ground, because in 1975, actually, the 930 variant of the 911 was introduced, but it's still a 911. So
yeah, granted. Yeah,
it's that one is we need to sort of umpire's decision on that one. However, one that we don't, and one that I just adore, is the Lancia Monte Carlo.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good shout.
Mid-engine, rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, Italian
Lancia. Filth. Absolute filth.
Yeah, that is a good shout, actually. Yeah. I mean, reliability-wise, it's probably on a par with the early XJSs.
Oh, yeah. They'll break down together. So no one's winning there.
No.
But
catastrophic electrical problems in both of them.
Tongues. Yeah.
However, that is a good shout, actually. Yeah, that's a very good shout.
I don't think it's going to sway you, and I think
it's not.
I think your decision is correct. Don't get me wrong. I adored XJS. I absolutely, particularly because I have it. This was the sniff episode, and an early one like they described.
Yes. An early
in a
proper colour. I think he chose yellow. I would probably go for gold.
But so a 70s colour, Kent alloys away.
Yeah, those huge big California rubber bumpers on it, because those early ones had that. And the ridiculous instruments with the needles going up and down on those sort of like spinning wheel. You know the ones I mean.
I do, and Mr. Porter was very correct to point out the dash on those early ones as well. Not strictly the finish, rather than it being the wood. It was the metallic finish, wasn't it? That's
right. No walnut in those early ones. That was replaced later, and they reintroduced the wood, but or at least some kind of lamination, I believe. I don't think it was all real wood, but
no, I think for a long time it was essentially just veneer, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. But yes, he was quite correct. In those early ones, no wood. It was a metallic finish amongst a sea of black plastic. But yes.
Quite. I think
I love a Series 1 XJS is a gorgeous thing.
And I think just something we should touch on, actually, if there's a 1975 car, a bit of a nod to Phil, I think, because
the Morris Marina, you say?
No, not that mean to him, but the Austin Princess was introduced in 1975.
Of course, that's yes. Well, he has actually owned one of those, so you can't argue with that. Yes, we took that iconic photograph of it sitting next to my Tesla.
Yes, you did, and I do believe. Oh God, I'm racking my brains back to his car. It certainly wasn't a 75. I think it was a 77. I'll let him correct me on that if I'm wrong.
It was an R plate, wasn't it, which would make it that.
Okay. My maths is not too bad then. That's all right.
Good. I would need to find the photograph and double check that, but I think you could be right. Yeah, I know it was brown and browner.
Brown on brown, yeah, it's good stuff. That it was.
Brown
it was
and browner.
With a hint of gaffer tape.
There might have been a touch of that here or there. Yeah,
but an experience nonetheless. I am very grateful. In a good way. Yes. I'm very grateful that he bought that as a bit of a lockdown project, or also to sort of retain lockdown sanity. And what a thing!
I have found the photograph, and it was indeed an R plate. So You can look that up.
Mm.
But what an amazing thing. Yeah.
Yeah. He did well there. Just even as just purely as a talking point, it was just ridiculous, wasn't it?
I have just sent you the photograph so you can.
Ah, yes.
Look at that. There can't be many photos of those two together.
No, I think that exists on its own. That
I think it does.
What a thing! Look at it.
I know.
Absolutely tiny.
Yeah, I know. Well, to be fair, the Model S was quite big.
Yeah. It's an odd pairing. Never before seen in the wild.
It's not two cars you're going to see together very often, is it?
But what's fascinating is the car park in which you took that photo is quite shabby car park, to say the least.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
And what's really interesting is on a regular basis, I do pass that car park, and there are some real exotic things parked in it.
I have seen both a Lamborghini and a McLaren in that car park.
I've seen those. I've seen a few Porsche, definitely a Ferrari as well. And it's like, why are they here? It makes no sense.
Because I think they're just down the road. Now, we'll be careful how we put this. Just down the road from that car park is a hotel which likes to present itself as being quite posh.
However,
it's not. But it likes to
in,
present itself as that.
It likes to present it, and I'll tell you what's really nice. It ties in beautifully with the Princess because it too is stuck in the 70s.
It very much is. But I wonder if people coming from outside the area who don't know it, if you're looking at the hotels that are available, and if you're just going by the marketing and the photographs taken by the owners, you might choose that hotel as thinking, "Oh, that's a bit posh.
Fancy." Yeah.
But when you get here, you realise the car park is super tight. So you'll go to this one just down the road because the spaces are a bit larger.
Yeah, you can't use the dedicated car park, and
that's my theory anyway.
Yeah, I think it's a solid theory because like you say, they've got ideas of luxury, but they've missed. Whereas actually, they think having prawn cocktails and a tea's made is quite luxurious.
Oh, you're up there with the Ritz and places like that. Yes.
Oh God! And now we're showing our age here, going, we know what a tea's made is.
Oh God, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be a significant portion of listeners. I actually know that we've got quite a young following.
I don't know how that's happened.
I tell you what is refreshing is that there is quite a young population that still have got a lot of time for cars. So
well, I hope so. That's very pleasing if that is true. Yeah, because we're constantly told the younger generation aren't interested in cars at all of any sort.
Yeah. So it is very refreshing to hear. And I tell you what, actually, on that, I would like to give a shout out to Maxwell and thank him for his young listenership.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I think we've managed to cover an awful lot of ground there without really having to worry about providing our own content there. You very kindly did the 3 statements, but everything else has been either provided for us or in relation to what's been provided for us.
I think we've winged our way through that quite nicely. Yes.
Yes. Oh, that's superb. All right, next week, I'll tell you what. Should we try and come up with our own content?
But should that be a change of pace, wouldn't it? Something a bit different. Yes.
Yeah. Let's see what we can do. And it's my turn to knock up some statements for you to agonise over.
Oh, and I've got to try and win next week to otherwise you're going to get ahead, and we can't have that.
Oh no, we can't. No. Okay. Well, pressure's on you, not me.
Well, no, it's both of us. If you come up with crap questions that I might know the answers to, then
True.
Gotta watch it. I told
Yeah, I
you.
will.
You know the subjects to pick so that I can,
No, I know the subject to avoid. Silly man. But yes, I will do my best to come up with not only fascinating ones but head scratchers too.
DeLorean time machine. Lots of things about that. That'd be fine. Yeah.
No.
Bugger.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.